All right. Going live. And it looks like we are now live. What is going on, everybody? I don't know if we have anybody in here as of yet. Looks like we do have one comment from Gotham City Hustler who says, "Hey, toy store." It's the toy room, but close enough. But what is going on, everybody? How is your weekend going? How is your Sunday going? I know we are on a little late on a Sunday evening. I'm sure most of you are probably watching football at this point. I didn't realize that when I made the stream that today was like the beginning of the football season, since I don't really follow football like that all that often. So probably not going to get too many people up in here, but did want to at least do a stream and just kind of go over all of the stuff that's been going on with the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 pre-orders, from the initial botched release that we talked about in the video the other day to where it is right now, which is in a much better place, I think, but still not 100% perfect. So we are going to talk about all of that in today's video. But I just want to give YouTube some time to send out notifications and give people a few minutes to get in here. But if you are in the chat, drop a comment below. Let me know that you're in here, and let's get a conversation going. I want to start with, first and foremost, were any of you able to secure a Marvel vs. Capcom 2 pre-order? And if you were, where did you get it from? Did you get it from Arcade1Up directly, from Target, from Best Buy, or somewhere else? I would love to know in the comments in the chat. Let's get a little conversation going there about that. I'm just going to take a quick drink of some water. All right. So nobody else in the chat yet other than Gotham City Hustler. But if you are still in here, Gotham City, I appreciate you commenting. And I think without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into it. And that is, we're going to recap what happened, but I'm sure most of you are all aware if you saw my last video or if you were just anywhere on the websites while Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was released, or I should say the pre-orders were released. And it was a horrible situation, at least at first, right on the jump. Really quick, looks like we have another comment from Jonah Garcia 79, who says that they ordered from Best Buy and then it got canceled. Okay, so that's actually interesting because, to my knowledge, Best Buy had the most pre-order availability. It would be available and then it would disappear for like 20 minutes and then it would come back and disappear, and it was kind of like that throughout the day. I want to say till at least 2 or 3 hours after the initial drop. So that's interesting. I wonder if they allowed too many people to pre-order initially and they had to start canceling orders. X Brian says that they pre-order from Target. That is where I was also able to pre-order one from, and where I wanted to pre-order one from, because I do work at Target as my second job. So I was able to use my Target employee discount plus my Target red card, and all in all I saved about, I want to say, like $120. The total of the cabinet for me came out to like $520 versus $640 after tax, I believe it is. Just normal price. So I saved a bunch of money getting it through Target. Console Fanboy says, "What's up? Hey, thanks for joining the stream." X Brian says that you trusted it since you worked there and you checked the UPC on the device. Yeah, so I actually, when I went into work later that day, I just checked the UPC to see if any stores had it in stock, which oddly enough around me it showed 3 stores had one in stock, but I think that was an error because, I don't know, even if they did have it in stock, they can't release it until October 6th, so it doesn't make any difference that way. Jonah Garcia, are we still going to have another chance to get one? Oh, most definitely. So what happened the other day was those were just pre-orders. So October 6th is the official release date of the actual cabinet. So if you check on Best Buy, Target, Walmart, I don't know if Arcade1Up them directly is going to have any other stock available. But if you check, like I said, Target, Walmart, Best Buy, maybe GameStop, and all the other retailers on October 6th, there will be more stock available to purchase directly. This initial wave, that was just pre-orders that basically sold out. But you'll definitely be able to get another chance in store as well as online starting October 6th. So mark your calendar for that for sure. So going back to what happened, basically all of you are aware, all the pre-orders on Arcade1Up's website went up early. They were supposed to drop at 12 noon Eastern time, and they ended up dropping like 11:55 Eastern time. So by the time 12 o'clock came around, all the pre-orders were gone. Best Buy dropped pre-orders, and like I said earlier, they were kind of going in and out. And then Target never dropped their pre-orders initially. They had dropped them a week early, and then all of those kind of sold out. And then it wasn't until about 2 o'clock in the afternoon that Target finally like enabled the pre-orders, or I don't know exactly what all the behind the scenes stuff was, but Target around 2 o'clock in the afternoon happened to just drop pre-orders randomly, and it worked out for me because even though like I had pretty much given up at this point because it was 2 hours later after the 12 o'clock mark when it was supposed to be dropped, I was at work in front of a computer, so I just had the web page pulled up, and I just every couple minutes, maybe like every 5 to 10 minutes or so, I would just go back to Target's website and hit refresh, obviously to no luck. And then when they finally dropped at 2 o'clock, I lost my mind. I did not expect them to have any availability. So at that point, I went ahead, pre-ordered right away, and they were up at least on Target's website after they dropped them. I don't know, I want to say at least like 30 minutes to an hour, more or less. So the whole initial thing was just messed up all around, from Arcade1Up dropping them early. Like I said, Best Buy, there's no complaints with Best Buy. They did what they were supposed to do. They dropped them at 12 o'clock, and like I said, availability kept going in and out, but pretty much was available throughout most of the day. But like Jonah mentioned earlier, their order got canceled through Best Buy, so I don't know if that's happened to anybody else. But then Target comes around a couple hours later, makes stuff available, and Best Buy making things available throughout the day. So I feel like they screwed up initially, but I feel like they kind of came around and saved themselves towards the end. There was a lot more availability throughout the day, and I think that kind of saved it. I think mostly everybody who wanted to get a pre-order in pretty much did, for the most part. I know like initially at 12 o'clock there was a ton of people that wasn't able to get it, but then throughout the day I feel like mostly everybody who wanted to secure a pre-order did. Definitely, if you didn't, let me know how that went for you in the chats below. But like I said, this is not the last available time to get it. October 6th is the official release date, so check online, and they may even start showing, well, no, because it's officially street dated for October 6th, so they shouldn't be showing up at stores any earlier than that, because it has a specific street date that the stores are not allowed to sell them until October 6th. So October 6th is going to be the day you want to get out and go hunting, whether it's in store or online. You may have a better chance in store because you're fighting less people than online, but it all depends on if your store gets stock and how many of them they get, and if they even put them out, or if they're not out on the floor, if you have an employee that's gonna want to go and check the back room. So there is a lot of variables that play into it. I don't think it's tough to say. I don't know if they're gonna like completely just sell out of these and they're gonna be impossible to find. I don't know if it's sort of like a fabricated shortage on Arcade1Up's part, or what the case is, but the demand for this cabinet is extremely high from obviously everybody in the Arcade1Up community who wants to get their hands on these, but then also just the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 community, which is huge, or not even necessarily just Marvel vs. Capcom 2, but like the fighting game community, all the Evo guys and everything like that, who may not necessarily purchase any previous arcade cabinets, but everybody knows like Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is a very, very big deal. So you're going to have a ton of people who maybe have never purchased Arcade1Up cabinets before that want to get their hands on that Marvel vs. Capcom 2 cabinet. So it's going to be very interesting to see where this goes. If everyone's just going to flip out and buy them all up right away, or if 6 months from now you're still going to easily be able to find them online or in stores. This is the first cabinet where I'm just like, I don't know which direction it's going to go. It's pretty crazy. Obviously, NFL Blitz was announced, like 2 weeks before or a week before Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was, as far as pre-orders and everything. And those are still readily available. You can still get them, I believe, directly through Arcade1Up. They're still available on Target and Best Buy and all those websites. So that is another cabinet, NFL Blitz, that I want to get. Like, those are my top two cabinets, NFL Blitz and Marvel vs. Capcom 2. NFL Blitz is definitely one that I want to have, and it's a must-have for me. But I know that I will be able to find that one some point down the line. I'm not really too worried about finding that one. So it just kind of speaks to how popular Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is. Neil Boodram says, Jonah Garcia, how did your pre-order get canceled? My assumption is going to be just via email, but I'm sure Jonah's going to if you're still in the chat, Jonah, comment about that. I would love to hear if anybody else had their orders canceled or if everybody was just able to secure it. It is still early in the game. I mean, fingers crossed, hopefully nobody else gets their orders canceled. But it could end up being that some other orders get canceled, which would be unfortunate because I want everybody who genuinely wants this cabinet to get their hands on them. I want to keep them out of the hands of the resellers, that's for sure. Do not buy these on eBay. Whatever you do, don't give in to the FOMO or fear of missing out or the fabricated hype or whatever. Just patience. You don't have to get it on day one, but if you keep hunting, and take this from me, who collects like video games and toys and all this stuff, if you don't find it on day one, you will eventually find it as long as you're persistent and keep hunting, whether it's online or in store. I know everybody wants to have it on day one because that excitement level is there, but if you just be patient, eventually you will eventually come across it. Unless it's something where Arcade1Up just can't keep up with the demand or something like that. But even so, I mean, look at the PS5s last year. They were still impossible to find, and they are still kind of impossible to find, but there have been many instances for me where I just walk into a store and I happen to just see a PS5 readily available to purchase. Now, I've had a PS5 luckily since launch day, so I haven't had the need to actually purchase one, but there have been plenty of times where I've just stumbled across one. So patience is key when trying to get these hot items. X Brian says he's expecting the lobbies to be packed since they sold out in the first wave of pre-orders. Hopefully the online infrastructure holds up well. I think it's going to be, for this cabinet and possibly NFL Blitz as well, I think it's going to be a rough couple of weeks initially, especially with Marvel vs. Capcom 2, because it is such a tricky game to emulate. I feel like there is going to be a lot of issues, whether it's just single player offline or even online as well. I think there are going to be, oh, excuse me, I don't know where that came from. I think there are going to be some sort of glitches or just technical things that they may need to tweak, because like I said, it's just a very complex game to emulate. And even with NFL Blitz as well, with the new source code that they did and everything like that, you may have some issues with emulation as well. But the good thing with these cabinets is that they are Wi-Fi enabled, so they're gonna roll out updates and patches as it progresses. And really, as much as like testing and quality control and everything that they do in-house, there's only so much that they can do with the team that they have. And you know, you may have like 10 people testing cabinets, so that's just my guess, random number. I don't know that for sure. But I feel like until it's out in the community and you have hundreds of people playing, you know, putting hours and hours in every single day, you're really not going to be able to find all of the, I guess, glitches or things that may need improvement. So I think it's going to be a rough first couple weeks for sure. Jonah Garcia 79 says in reply to Neil, he's legit trying to get through to them to find out what happened. So Jonah, did this happen to you just like recently, like right now, that they canceled your order? Was it via email? I'm assuming that's what it was. Yeah, that sucks. Usually, like when they cancel your order, they'll give you like a an explanation or the reason why in the email. I don't know if your email said that or not. But yeah, that really sucks, man. But like I said, October 6th, you know, be there online or in store. That's when they are officially going to be released. And the only thing is we don't know what time. We don't know if it's going to be midnight that they're going to drop on the websites. My guess is that they would be. That's usually how it works for street dated stuff. So I would check online midnight on October 6th. So October 5th going into October 6th. Neil says that he pre-ordered with Best Buy and his order is still there. What day did they cancel the pre-order? Was it the 8th? So I guess we'll wait for Jonah to hear back about that. So I don't know. What do you guys think? That Arcade1Up redeemed themselves in the long run as far as the initial release? Like I would say the first hour, or at least the first 30 minutes of pre-orders was terrible. It was terrible all the way around, and I'm sure a lot of people probably gave up. You know, a lot of people have jobs. They can't constantly be on their phone. Luckily, I have an office job where I have a computer in front of me, so it wasn't an issue to just be there all day refreshing Target till eventually it popped up. But I know that first 30 minutes to an hour was crazy. There was a lot of upset people, but I feel like Best Buy saved the day by dropping so many like batches of pre-orders throughout the day, and then Target coming in late in the game. It could have went smoother, that is for sure, but I think in the long run, at least for the pre-orders, I don't know if it was necessarily Arcade1Up that redeemed themselves or just the retailers that did what they were supposed to do. I guess I don't know. I don't know what made Target finally at 2 o'clock drop them and what made Best Buy. I guess Best Buy was trying to keep the bots away, so that's why they would do like a batch of pre-orders here and then wait like 20-30 minutes and drop another batch of pre-orders. Or maybe it was just a system error on Best Buy's part and that's why some of your orders are getting canceled. I don't really know, but I feel like it didn't go smooth, but they definitely it worked out for the better. It was much improved later throughout the day. It was a wild ride, a roller coaster ride for sure. I know all of us were pretty upset within that first 30 minutes, or not even necessarily upset, maybe just frustrated, especially with Arcade1Up because they told everybody 12 o'clock noon, and then they dropped it at 11:55. And I know there was a ton of people who said, John D said on a live stream that they could potentially drop earlier or whatever. But if you're going to give people a specific time slot, especially in the middle of the week when people have jobs and stuff, people are going to set their alarms accordingly, right? So if you tell me 12 o'clock, well, I'm going to make sure that I'm ready for 12 o'clock. I'm not going to make sure or be thinking, 11:55 they're going to drop. And even then, when they did drop at 11:55, they were pretty much gone within a minute. So even I don't know, if let's say you were prepared and logged on at 11:57 for the 12 o'clock pre-order, you were already too late. So it's tough. It really, I don't know why they dropped them early. If you're gonna tell people a time, drop it at that time. So that's the only thing. Especially when they had complete control over it. They are Arcade1Up. They can control when it goes live, right? It's not like it was a thing where Target, actually accidentally dropped them early. It was Arcade1Up was in complete control of that, and I feel like they really dropped the ball. Looks like we have another comment by hopefully I don't butcher your name, Merovingian French. I'm sorry if I butchered the name. Just now tuning in, and you say you got your pre-order the day of release around 3 p.m. Eastern time, through Best Buy with $636 flat. So yeah, that's what we've been talking about, right? So it was kind of weird with Best Buy where pre-orders were available initially at 12, then they dwindled and disappeared, and then they would come on and off through, like every 15, 20, 30 minutes they would just show up throughout the day. So it was nice that people were later in the day still able to get a hold of pre-orders after that initial screw up. Neil says he got his order through Best Buy for $545. Nice. So I'm assuming you had some kind of like rewards dollars and stuff. That's a really good deal. Like I mentioned before, I got mine through Target, and I have a 10% employee discount. Plus, right now they're also doing an additional 5% for employees. So that's 15%. Plus, my red card is another 5%. So the total for me was like $520, maybe $521, something like that. This is your first cabinet. Do you get screen names? So I personally don't have any of the online capable cabinets yet, but from my understanding of playing online, and maybe somebody in the chat can kind of speak to it, but I believe you can create your own custom screen name as long as it's not taken by anybody else already. And then you'll have like lobbies that you can jump into, and just you can play against your friends, you can play against just random people. So definitely I got to figure out what my screen name is going to be. If the toy room for some reason is taken, I have to figure something else out, but if not, then it's going to be the toy room. And definitely when I get the cabinet, whenever that is, we definitely got to do some live streams, and I would love to play against all you guys. It's going to be tons of fun, and we'll definitely, stream all of that here on the channel. Neil says he used a 10% coupon, for the Best Buy credit card, and he had a $30 gift card already, and that brought the price down quite a bit. Yeah, that saved you essentially $100 because after taxes it's $640 something. So nice. Total botch on the pre-orders. You were so right. Toy store. So it's the toy room. This is the second time somebody's called me toy store, but it's all good. Yeah, it was definitely completely screwed up initially, but like I said, after the fact, hours later, I feel like almost everybody who wanted to get their hands on a pre-order did. But for everybody who didn't, don't worry, sit tight. October 6th is the official release date, and there will be more stock available online as well as in stores. Yep, you do get a screen name in the lobby. You set up your username. So yeah, just pretty simple. You can just pick whatever you want. After doing some research, this is the best release from them this far. Not saying previous were bad. Um, yeah, I don't. It's tough, right? So I don't know if it's necessarily like it's a great release. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know if some of it is fabricated or not necessarily fabricated, but so many people have that fear of, this is a very popular title. This title hasn't been released in, I want to say, like 10 years almost. If it hasn't been 10 years already, it will be soon. It hasn't been released in 10 years since the PS3 and Xbox 360 marketplaces. And it's a very hard title to actually get the licensing to. So, is this the last time we're going to see Marvel vs. Capcom 2? Is this the only time we're going to see Marvel vs. Capcom 2 again in the near future? Nobody really knows. My guess is because Arcade1Up already has the license secured, I would assume that they could probably make, like if they did a pro cabinet or whatever with Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I don't know what would be the issue stopping them from making another cabinet other than I guess Marvel and Capcom. Whatever the issue is, I don't know. But I think it's just the excitement and the fear. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fear. People just scared that it's going to sell out and they'll never be able to get their hands on it again. And this could be like a once in a lifetime opportunity. I think that's kind of driving it a little bit higher. But I mean, so many people were excited for Ninja Turtles. NBA Jam, a lot of people were very excited for. And then you had like Star Wars and Tron that had a lot of hype and excitement around it as well. So, we'll have to see the numbers. It'll be interesting. I don't know if Arcade1Up releases that information, if this is one of the highest selling cabinets or what the case is. But I don't think it's all. I mean, in my opinion, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is absolutely worth all the hype. But I don't know if the sales are necessarily contributed to the hype and the love of the game, or I think it's 50-50. Like for me, it's just how much I love Marvel vs. Capcom 2. It's one of the greatest fighting games of all time. But I think for other people, they love the game, but what's really pushing them over the edge to purchase it now as soon as possible is that fear of not being able to find it down the line. Cool, can't wait. We're gonna have to tussle. Yeah, for sure. I would love to play against all of you guys, and we are gonna definitely do that live stream. C Smooth says, how long until Marvel vs. Capcom 2, I can't even talk, runs 100%? Like I mentioned earlier, I think it's going to be a rough couple weeks. I don't think it's going to be terrible and like unplayable or anything like that, but I do think we are going to be running into some issues and technical stuff. Will it ever run like completely 100%? I would imagine so. How long it's going to take us to get there? I don't know if it'll take us a couple weeks, maybe a couple months. Like I said, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is just a very complex game to try and emulate. So I don't think it's going to be necessarily game breaking and unplayable, but I think there will be a couple bugs and hiccups along the way. And I think NFL Blitz is probably going to be in that same boat, because that is another sort of tricky game to emulate, but also they mess with the source code a little bit, so that could also contribute to like maybe other things getting messed up in the game. Foster Boy says that this is a once in a lifetime cabinet. It could be. It very well could be. Or maybe we'll get lucky and Arcade1Up will make other different variants of it. I don't know, but either way, I got my pre-order in and I'm good. Let's see. We got a ton of comments coming in. I'm trying to get caught up. These cabs are way too expensive now. I can't see myself buying another. I completely get it. If you guys see behind me, I have some of the earlier cabinets. I have the original first release of Street Fighter 2, and then I have Final Fight. So Street Fighter 2 was Wave 1. I have a Final Fight from Wave 2, and I have Marvel Superheroes from Wave 3 behind me. And I have a Pac-Man cabinet on the other side of me over here. I got that Pac-Man cabinet on clearance for $150. The other ones behind me, I bought all of them full price when they originally came out. But yeah, these cabinets are so expensive, and that's why I haven't really bought any in the last few years, because it's just, I want too many of them, and they're just so expensive. So I've just been holding out, and Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is the first one out of these really expensive like price increase ones that I'm like, I have to get that day one, no questions asked. And I did save myself some money on it because of my discounts and everything, but it was still expensive. It was $520, which is a lot of money. But we'll see. I'm hoping, I do want to get NFL Blitz, and I'm hoping I can catch that on a sale at some point in time. That one I'm not too worried about. I think it'll be easy to find on a sale. Neil says, where are the Walmart pre-orders? That's what I'm saying. It's weird, right? Why didn't Walmart drop anything on pre-order day. So it's weird, but I don't know. I really don't know, but I'm sure October 6th they'll have stock. I don't know if online, but definitely in store. But it's weird that they didn't drop anything. So I would say maybe keep checking Walmart's website, a couple times a day or something like that. Maybe they might show up. That I don't know. It's just weird. I don't know if they're doing pre-orders or not doing pre-orders. Man, my voice is shot. In your opinion, there aren't any other classics. The third crossover won't hold up well graphically. The animated graphics are timeless. Yeah, I still think Marvel vs. Capcom 3 holds up pretty well. If that's what, I don't know if that's what you were referring to, the third crossover. I'm guessing that's what you were referring to. I still think it holds up pretty well, and that's a really good game. Sometimes I go back and forth on like which is my favorite, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 or Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, because they are both phenomenal games. But at the end of the day, what Marvel vs. Capcom 2 did for the fighting community and just having that insane roster of characters, it's always going to be timeless. But I think Marvel vs. Capcom 3 still holds up pretty well, and I think even in 10 years it would still hold up decently well, because it wasn't like super HD graphics. It was just kind of like a HD cartoony style. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I think it holds up well. What do you mean by 100%? Do the cabinets update? Yeah. So the all the online cabinets. So any NFL Blitz, NBA Jam, the Ninja Turtles, the later editions of the Street Fighter cabinets, any of the cabinets that have Wi-Fi online play, they can update essentially. So so Arcade1Up could put out patches or updates. If there's any issues with the game that they fix later on, they could send out patches and whatnot via Wi-Fi. Hopefully it runs 100% by day one. All other titles have been online for some time. Like I said, I don't think it'll run 100%, but I think, I don't know, maybe 90%, it's just one of those things where it's a tough game to emulate, and until it gets in the hands of all the consumers and everybody playing it, I think that's really when you're going to find all the bugs and everything that are out there. Day one patch will come in handy, so hopefully it will run 100 just like the original Naomi version. I hope so. I really do hope so. I'm still sad that if you buy it from Arcade1Up site, they only give you a 90-day warranty. So that was the warranty. I didn't really care about so much. I've never had any issues personally with my cabinets breaking or anything like that, but I wanted to get it from Target just in case let's say it comes damaged or something like that. I can just return it. I can just go drop it off at the store, and you can do that with Best Buy as well. But again, I wanted to get it through Target so I can use my discounts there. But that's why I personally didn't want to get it from Arcade1Up directly, and I wanted to get it from a retailer. That way, if it happens to come damaged or anything happens, or there's possibility of Arcade1Up sending me a review unit. I was in talks with them about that. I don't know if that's actually still happening or not, so that's why I went ahead and secured my pre-order. But if they do happen to send me a review unit, then I can just return the one that I purchased in store. So it was just a lot of variables. I don't think I'm actually getting the review unit though. I doubt they even have any review units to send out if we could see anything by the stock they had on their website. So, yeah, I don't know why they only give a 90-day warranty on their website. That does kind of suck. And if you did have to return it for any reason, it's going to be a hassle to try and ship it back to them and stuff. So that's why I just rather do it through a retailer and deal with it that way, because I can just drive 5 minutes to my local store and just return it that way. Best Buy has extended warranties on items like this. That's very good. Coming from Target, it will be damaged. Target sucks at shipping. I've never personally had any issues. I've never ordered anything like this fragile or even this big from Target, but I order like, action figures, Funko Pops and stuff from Target, and like NECA figures and stuff all the time, and anything that I can recollect, I've never had like any issues with stuff coming damaged or anything like that. And you can't even blame Target, right? Because once it leaves Target's warehouse, or the store, wherever they're shipping it from, it's out of Target's hands. It's FedEx and UPS or whoever is handling the products in the shipping process to get to you. Once it leaves Target's facilities, it's completely out of their hands. So I wouldn't say it's necessarily Target's fault versus FedEx or UPS or whoever's delivering it to you. Oh man. So other than Marvel vs. Capcom 2, what other cabinets are you guys looking forward to that have been announced already, or hoping that you get announced, or hoping that gets announced already, I should say? I know so many people were ecstatic for my accidental leak of Double Dragon a few weeks ago. That was the talk of the town, and man, that was a crazy week. The amount of comments and questions and just curiosity that I got about that Double Dragon cabinet was absolutely crazy, and I accidentally leaked it. I didn't even realize it while I was doing my NFL Blitz preview that was there. So, looks like the last, oh god, bunch of comments coming in. Hold on. There we go. The last two versus cabinets that was released, once they sold out, they were gone on eBay. A brand new Marvel vs. Capcom 1 cabinet still goes for $1,000 still because there was a limited amount made. So, yeah, I really wanted that cabinet. I love the design on it. That one and the X-Men versus Street Fighter. I wanted both of those. I actually like the X-Men versus Street Fighter artwork a little bit better than the Marvel vs. Capcom one. But I just wanted to hold out. I just had a feeling that maybe if I hold out, eventually Marvel vs. Capcom 2 will come. And it did. And as soon as I saw the announcement, I was like, I don't care how much this costs. I'm just going to buy it. And on a side note, do you guys think it's a little weird what Arcade1Up's doing, like, with Marvel vs. Capcom 2, like, on their social media platforms? Like, so they announced NFL Blitz, right, initially. And then it was, like, heavy promotion for NFL Blitz. And then a week later, or 2 weeks later, I don't remember the exact timeline, they announced Marvel vs. Capcom 2, right? And for that day, it was, like, all Marvel vs. Capcom 2. But then after that, all Arcade1Up has talked about is NFL Blitz. Or maybe Marvel vs. Capcom 2 got announced first. I don't remember the order. But all I know is they've heavily been marketing NFL Blitz all over their social media. They have barely even mentioned Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Like I said, they announced it initially when they made the reveal. And then it was literally nothing until pre-order day when they said, hey, pre-orders are available. And then, like, 2 hours later, they're like, they put out that PR announcement about the release didn't go the way that they planned and whatever. And then literally, like, their next post was back to promoting NFL Blitz. So I think it's weird why they're so heavily promoting NFL Blitz and not really promoting Marvel vs. Capcom 2 at all. I don't know if it's because Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is so popular that it's just going to sell itself, essentially, and NFL Blitz... or maybe it's they got so much advertising dollars into NFL Blitz with all the NFL players and the NFL behind them. I don't know. I just think it's weird that they're so focused on NFL Blitz and Marvel vs. Capcom is just kind of there, like, to the side. Sonic the Fighters. That would be a hilarious cabinet to see. After Marvel vs. Capcom 2, all you want is Daytona and Super Off-Road. I would love a Daytona cabinet. It's such a classic game. Anything Sonic related. There were some leaks a few weeks ago. I think Justin Console Kits put it on his channel and a few others as well. There was some leaks with the Sonic cabinet. I don't know what it was. Did I say Double Dragon? I did say Double Dragon. If you check out some of the last videos on my channel, maybe like 4 videos ago, it was my NFL Blitz hands-on preview. I accidentally showed off. I was invited to an event with Arcade1Up, and I accidentally showed off a Double Dragon cabinet that I didn't realize was like an unannounced or unreleased cabinet. And then I also did a follow-up live stream kind of talking about that if you want to check that out. You said that you thought you missed the Marvel vs. Capcom. This is Darkest User says that he thought he missed a Marvel vs. Capcom 2 cabinet on Best Buy and he randomly checked later and it was available again. That happened to a ton of people, but I'm glad you were able to get it. Cornercade says, "What's up, everybody? What is up, Cornercade? Your thumbnail or your channel icon looks pretty cool. And looks like you have a good setup. I have to check out your channel." Darkest says that he set up to get notified by Arcade1Up and never got an email or text. I signed up for notifications as well, and I got the email when they dropped early at 11:55 instead of 12 o'clock. Who is getting the Blitz Legend? I plan to get Blitz myself personally, but I'm going to just wait. I purchased Marvel vs. Capcom 2. It was expensive. And I'm just going to try and hold off on Blitz for a little while until I finish paying the arcade, I can't talk, the Marvel vs. Capcom 2. and then I'm going to eventually hopefully find Blitz on a sale or something like that. So I do plan to get it, just eventually, not right away. Capcom versus SNK2 needs a cab. I think that's going to be tough, because of the whole SNK aspect to it. I know we were supposed to get, there was leaks years ago of Arcade1Up SNK cabinet, and that never fell through, so I don't know what the licensing issues are with that, so it'll be interesting to see. DJ No Good says, I actually forgot, when was the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 pre-order available? September 8th is when it was available, and those were just pre-orders. So check again, October 6th. That is the official release date for these cabinets. October 6th, online and in stores. Definitely check that out. Anyone shop on the Wiley's website that Arcade1Up recommends? I saw they put out a couple websites I never heard of before. I personally have never heard of any of those websites. I just stick to my normal, Target, Best Buy, all those retailers. You look like Fanboy from Top Gun. That is a new one. I haven't heard that before. I need to, let me see. Fanboy Top Gun. That's funny. Yeah, I guess I could see it with the haircut and everything like that, right? I always hear that I look like Aaron Hernandez, and that I also look like Vinny from Jersey Shore. Gotham City got his pre-order from Target. Nice. I like the idea of the live stream. Like, once it comes in, I'm sure you're gonna go live. I'm subscribed, so I'll know. Yeah, definitely. So whenever I get it, I'm gonna go ahead and build it, and that whatever that day is, I'm probably just gonna go live, showing off some gameplay. It's been a little while since I played Marvel vs. Capcom 2. But, as long as I pick some Street Fighter characters, I'll be okay, because I've had enough practice with the Street Fighter characters and also any of the Marvel superheroes cabinets as well. So, as long as I'm like Ryu, Ken, or Spider-Man, or Cyclops, or Captain America, there's a lot of ways that I can go with it. But I'll be decent with those characters. Some of the other characters, like Mega Man or whatever, it may be a little while before I remember all the combos and movesets. So I have a feeling I'll probably get wrecked day one. I'm not going to lie. But, yeah, it will be tons of fun. I can't wait for it. Make sure you guys have notifications and everything on. But, I'll be posting on the community tab as well as the Arcade1Up Facebook group when I go live. And I'm sure I won't be the only person going live that day, playing online. It will be cool, right? So, like, if I do a live stream and then there's another YouTuber doing a live stream as well, it'd be cool, like, in our live streams, right, playing against each other live on the cabinet. So it's like Arcade1Up Inception or something like that. So that would be pretty cool. Let's see. We got a bunch more comments coming in, trying to get to the important ones. How many cabinets do I have so far? So I have 4 in total. So I have the 3 that you see behind me, Marvel Superheroes, the original Street Fighter, and Final Fight. And then I have the Pac-Man 12-in-1 Legacy Edition that is behind me that you can't see right now. Let me see if I can actually... Can I turn my rear camera on? There we go. So you can see the Pac-Man one right there that is behind the camera setup. I'm going to turn that front camera back on. There we go. Hopefully that worked. That should have worked fine. All right, back to the comments. How does online work? Is it random, or can you look for someone / private lobbies? So yeah, you can do both, right? So you can if you have someone's like username or whatever, you can just add them that way and play against them that way. And then I think, I'm not 100% sure because none of my cabinets are the online versions, but I think you can create your own lobby or your own room and invite people in that way as well. Or you can just opt to play against random people and it just finds a user and that's it. I hope Marvel vs. Capcom 2 sells well enough to show that we want this game on other platforms. Yeah, it's weird. Like, I think everybody universally knows that this is one of the best games of all time, and we all want to see this game, whether it's Arcade1Up or any other forms, right? So, like, I don't know why Marvel and Capcom haven't really put this out on any sort of fighting collection or anything like that on any consoles or anything. Just going through some of the other comments over here. The original Street Fighter 2 was okay, no option to change difficulty. It was always set to hard. Yeah, so I don't know. I enjoyed it, and this cabinet, the original Street Fighter, has a lot of sentimental value to me. That's why I've never like let it go or upgrade to any of the other Street Fighter cabinets, because that's literally, this was the first cabinet that I ever purchased and was ever interested in, and it literally was what got me started making Arcade1Up content, and I was the first person to make content on YouTube about Arcade1Up, and that was sheerly just because I was looking for information. I got an email from GameStop about, these 3/4 arcade scale cabinets coming out or whatever. And I went on YouTube to look for information about the cabinets, and I couldn't find any information about them. So then I started going to Arcade1Up's website and just digging up as much information as I could about the cabinets, and then just started making videos about Arcade1Up that way. So, and all of that being said, this specific cabinet, the Street Fighter behind me, was also sent to me by Arcade1Up back in 2018, I think it was, to do a review on. So that this cabinet just means so much to me. That's why it's still like a must-have in my collection, and I don't think I'll ever let it go. Isn't the cabinet labeled under a toy as a loophole to re-release it? Honestly, I'm not sure. I have no idea. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is the main selling point of this cabinet. It's either this or you pay $200 for the Dreamcast copy or the real arcade. Yeah, man, the console versions are so expensive. I have it on the original Xbox. I'm trying to see where it is if I can grab it. Hold on one second. Oh, okay, here it is. So this copy I've had for maybe about 5 years or so. And this was when video game collecting wasn't the craze. No, it's been longer than 5 years, maybe like 6 or 7. I got this through GameStop, and I want to say I paid maybe like $20-$30 for it, right? And this same copy nowadays goes for almost $100. And this is not complete. It's missing the manual, but it has the disc in here. And yeah, like I said, I got this before the video game market exploded to what it is today. And now that like everybody's collecting retro games, the market's just gone absolutely insane. Jiggler plays Jiggler. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Jiggler plays says I only have what I think the first Mortal Kombat cabinet. Only Mortal Kombat 1 through 3. I don't think it has online or riser. So yeah, it's probably the original Mortal Kombat cabinet. Yeah, the new like it's the oh man, why am I blanking out? It's the Mortal Kombat 12-in-1 cabinet. That one has online play. The Legacy Edition is what they're calling it. You have the Street Fighter 2 original cabinet as well, but might sell it. Never got much use for it. Yeah, the thing is, it's not going to sell for that much, I don't think. It is a great base to start modding. So a lot of people probably will want to buy it from you for that purpose. It is a great base to mod if you wanted to get into modding. Older collectors have to be a bit upset about the re-releases with much better options. Yeah, that is a thing that always bothered me. Not necessarily me, like, personally, because most of the re-release cabinets that they've done, they haven't, like, the cabinets I own, they haven't really been re-released, other than, like, Street Fighter being included on some other ones, and now with Marvel vs. Capcom 2, all of the games that are on my Marvel Superheroes cabinet are going to be on that cabinet. But yeah, it definitely does suck, because if you want to get the upgraded stuff, now you got to buy the cabinet again, or sell the cabinet you have. It's good to see the improvements and stuff, and it just shows the growth and the progression and support from the community to Arcade1Up. But yeah, I don't know. I would just be so mad if I spent $300 to buy that original Pac-Man cabinet, and then now they have the Pac-Man Legacy Edition that I have that has 12 games in one with online play, upgraded screens, and everything like that. Because that original Pac-Man cabinet was $300. I think it had 2, maybe 3 games on there. The screen was atrocious. Had no online play. It had no riser. anything like that. So it definitely does suck, but at the same time, like for newer people that are getting into collecting Arcade1Up, it makes sense for them, right? Because they were, let's say they weren't around back in 2018, 2019 when the original Pac-Man cabinet released. Well, now they have another option to get Pac-Man instead of trying to hunt one down like on the resale market. The Killer Instinct cabinet looks sick too. So there's a regular Killer Instinct cabinet that's been out, and then there is a pro model that I also briefly showed off in my NFL Blitz video that has not officially, it's been announced, but no other information has come out from it. And that thing is massive. It looks like a full-size arcade. It is huge. You think you'll probably mod your Mortal Kombat cabinet, but you're scared I'm going to brick it. That's honestly the reason why I never have got into the modding scene. I don't want to screw these cabinets up, right? And I kind of like... I didn't bring the mic with me. I have to sit back. My back is killing me. This is what happens when you get old, guys. What was I saying? Oh my gosh. So, modding the cabinets. So I actually like how these cabinets look, like just stock. You know, like there's something I just like things stock. I'm not big into the modding, even like with my retro consoles and stuff. I just enjoy having things stock. I know I could upgrade them and have them look better in other ways, but I don't know. There's just something about it for me that I just like the stockness of it, the originality of it. And I don't know. Maybe one day I'll get a cabinet to mod it, but then at that point it's like I'm not going to want to get any other cabinets if I can put everything, you know, on a RetroPie and just stick it all in one cabinet. And I like having the other cabinets for the design aspect, having it feel like a real arcade. So I don't think I'll ever personally mod any of my cabinets. I don't know. But if I do, I'm definitely not going to be doing it myself. That is for sure. Blitz would never sell out. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I personally love Blitz. It's one of my favorite games of all time. So I hope it doesn't sell out so that eventually, maybe in like 6 months or something, I can try and catch it on a sale or something like that. You wonder if Marvel vs. Capcom 2 will get any updates to balance it out. I don't think so. Like, I don't think they're going to do anything to mess with the core gameplay of the game. I think they haven't messed with the source code in this game, so I don't think they're going to be doing anything that way. I think they'll just make tweaks to make the game run like properly, like it should. No other Arcade1Up's pre-orders have sold like Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Never. Yeah, this is what I was like alluding to earlier, is that some of it has to do with just how many people want the game and are excited for the game, and another half of it is just all the people that are scared that they won't be able to find the game, you know, 2-3 months from now. Are the X-Men cabinets still available on the 1UP website? I do not know, but I can check for you. 1 second. Let me pull up Arcade1Up's website. Are you talking about the 4-player X-Men or the X-Men versus Street Fighter? But I'll check what's on here, if anything's on here at all. So it looks like the X-Men 4-player cabinet is listed on their website. I don't see the X-Men versus Street Fighter. Ooh, oh my god, why is that cabinet so expensive? Are you guys really paying $750 for this X-Men cabinet? This is ridiculous. I mean, it comes with a stool and a riser, but still $750? That's insane. No way am I paying that much for that X-Men cabinet. And the games list isn't even that good. You get X-Men, Captain America, and Avengers. And I think that Captain America might be a home console game. I'm sorry, I'm completely flustered. I did not realize how expensive that X-Men cabinet is. $750. That is insane to me. Wow. 750. Did anybody pay that price for that X-Men cabinet? That is really driving me crazy. If people paid that much, that's crazy. Sorry, I don't know. Yeah, X-Men versus Street Fighter. That's not listed on the website. That I don't think you can really find anywhere like on retail sites anymore. You kind of have to get that from like resellers and the secondhand market. So I before actually sitting in, I see you guys talking about stools. Before actually going to Arcade1Up's facility and sitting in their stools, I never really got the hype for the stools. They always look kind of small or whatever. But actually getting to see the stools in person and sitting in them, they are pretty nice and very comfortable. And you sit at like just the right height to play the game comfortably sitting down. So those stools are really nice. Are they worth $100? In my opinion, no. But I guess that's like the going rate for stools. I guess stools of that kind. So I guess it makes sense. All I can say is that they are really nice. I just don't know if I would pay that much to have a stool included. Aaron Hernandez. That's funny. Why they say that? I don't know. And it's I've got told that by people on YouTube that I look like Aaron Hernandez. And even like I was just in a store randomly and someone came up to me and asked me if I was Aaron Hernandez. It was the weirdest thing. I guess it's just something about the short haircut and the tattoos. But I mean, Aaron Hernandez, he's not alive anymore. But he was built, and I'm sure he's taller than me. He was in the NFL, so I don't know. If you get Marvel vs. Capcom 2 or Blitz, get Marvel vs. Capcom 2 first. Blitz will be easy to find even after it's released. So that's the strategy I'm going with for sure. Like, I already pre-ordered Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I'm holding off on Blitz, and yeah, it'll be easy. It's still available on Arcade1Up's website, on all the retailers' websites, and they haven't even started hitting stores yet. So, it is what it is. Prob average height, lol. Not for me, who is 6'2". Yeah, I'm 5'9". I think that's like average height. I don't know what is considered average, but yeah. Oh man. Oh, I didn't even realize we are approaching now about an hour in the stream. So we're gonna go till 9 o'clock. So that is 9 more minutes from now, 9 o'clock Eastern time. So if you guys got any last minute questions or comments or whatever, drop them in the chat, and we're just gonna rock out here till 9 o'clock. I appreciate all you guys. I didn't think the stream was going to be that popular because it's football. Sunday football, the first game of the season, whatever. So I figured a lot of people were going to be watching football, but I'm actually surprised just how many of you came in. I just want to say, I appreciate you guys taking the time out to just come together, all hang out as a community, talk, and I cannot wait for Marvel vs. Capcom 2 to come out so that we can all play against each other in that live stream. October 6th, well, I don't think I'll have the cabinet October 6th. That'll be the day that it ships out. So probably October 6th is a Thursday, I believe. So my guessing is I'll get the cabinet either Saturday, maybe. If not, it'll probably get delivered that Monday. I don't know. Whenever it is, we'll definitely be live. We'll be playing, and it's going to be tons of fun, and I cannot wait. Michael Pagnota, sorry if I mispronounced that, says, "Hey, I just saw your Toys R Us video. Where in New York are they opening?" Which Toys R Us video? Because I have like a bunch of them, especially that I've made in the last like couple weeks. Are you talking about the Toys R Us stores that are reopening, or the one that's already open that I visited? You've been thinking about getting little pegs to boost it up a little. At least for me, I feel like with the risers, they're at like just the right height. But I understand for anybody who's taller, it would be a problem. You could get like a little. There's good tables from IKEA that you can get. They're like little like side tables that are gonna be taller than the risers. So that is a good option. I don't remember exactly where I saw those tables at. Darkest says that he thinks it's just Macy's that they're opening. No. So actually, I have a video about it. They are opening in Macy's stores, but they are also opening 10 physical standalone Toys R Us stores that are not inside of Macy's. They're just their own standalone stores. Michael says the flagship one's coming soon. Okay, so that's what I'm getting to right now. So they have 10 stores that they're going to be opening that are just standalone locations. It's going to be New York, Miami, I think Houston, somewhere in Hawaii, which is super random, and I forget the other locations. You can check out the video. I'll drop it here in the chat if you guys want to check it out later. But they haven't actually mentioned like where the locations are going to be yet. But definitely, stay tuned for that, because I do a ton of Toys R Us coverage ever since they closed all the way until all the reopenings now. Hold on, I'm just getting the link for you guys. Here is that video if you guys want to watch it after the stream, if you haven't checked it out already. There you go. But I have a whole Toys R Us playlist on the channel, just covering all the latest news from Toys R Us. So yeah, they're going to be opening by, I think it's beginning of October, or was it November? I can't remember. I said it in the video, but they're going to be open in every single Macy's then, and then they're going to have 10 standalone stores sometime between now and next year. And there is one standalone store already open in New Jersey that I visited. I did a whole vlog about that if you guys are interested. Do you think Marvel vs. Capcom 2 will be bundled in another fighting collection? Or is it a one and done? It's tough to say. Honestly, nobody I don't even know if Arcade1Up themselves know. I guess I have to kind of see how this goes and see where the terms with Marvel and Disney and Capcom are, and what it really just comes down to Disney, right? Disney, Marvel, what they want to do. Because I'm sure Arcade1Up has no problem making 100 versions of Marvel Capcom 2. It really just comes down to the license and what they want to do with it. But as of right now, I have no idea. So I don't know. I'm just not taking any chances on waiting and hoping that another cabinet will happen, and then it never does. Davila. Oh, hey, Davila. You were in my last live stream. Welcome to the stream. You love Macy's and you go to buy your makeup there. Nice. So when you go to buy your makeup, now you can check out. They are starting to hit a lot of stores soon. So Macy's stores. They should have like a little Toys R Us section in it. I think it already hit my Macy's. I just haven't had time to go check it out. But hopefully in the next couple weeks, I will be doing that. Is Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite trash? It's not trash, but it's definitely not Marvel vs. Capcom 2 or 3. So, it's just okay. Most likely, New York City again. The year I finally visited, they shut down the Toys R Us. Yeah, my guess it'll be somewhere in Times Square or around Times Square. The only problem is the rent is so high there, so they have to, financially it has to make sense for them, but they'll sell a ton being in Times Square for sure. You're actually going to the one in New Jersey in a few weeks. Nice. Yeah, it's huge, man. They got 2 floors, and it's huge. There was nothing really, like, mind-blowing there as far as, like, the products, and some of the products are a little bit overpriced, but it was just exciting being in a Toys R Us again. And I bought a Jeffrey the Giraffe plush while I was there. I think it was early in the year, around February, that I went, and it was just such a surreal feeling being inside of a Toys R Us again. If Marvel vs. Capcom 2 disappears after its run and naysayers that kept saying it was going on clearance or on sale and it doesn't get it when they can, I won't feel sorry for them at all. Do you think Arcade1Up will eventually get games like Street Fighter 4 or Marvel vs. Capcom 3? Maybe once they run out of classic arcade games. I don't know. I don't know if those are too demanding to try and emulate, on especially like PS3, Xbox 360 era of games. But I would like to see like the Alpha series from Street Fighter, or, just all the other different versions of Street Fighter. As much as I love Street Fighter 2, there are really other great versions of Street Fighter. Street Fighter 3, Third Strike, and all the Alpha series games. So, and I think they were supposed to release a cabinet that had those games on them, and I don't think they ever did for some reason. Ultimate, there was an Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 arcade. Interesting. I didn't know about that. So, yeah, maybe they can do it, but I wouldn't bet on it. The Macy's you checked were bad. Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of the Macy's, it's just going to be like a very small, little, like, insignificant sections. I know, like, some of the bigger stores, if you go to the Macy's in New York, actually, if you're going to be in New York, go to the famous Macy's. I forget exactly where it is, but if you look it up, it's the famous Macy's in New York. I think they have a really big Toys R Us section there. You gotta go. You have work tomorrow. Have a good night. Hey, Michael, thanks for joining the stream. We're all about to sign off here in a minute anyways. I have to work in the morning as well, so I feel your struggle. Take care. Thank you for joining the stream. I'll just get through these last couple comments, and then we'll sign off here. Walmart in Virginia did a manager special for the Simpsons arcade for only $100. That is a steal. I would have jumped on that for sure. Anybody know the ship date for Marvel vs. Capcom 2? The ship date is going to be October 6th. That is the official release date, and that should be the official day that they also get shipped out. So check your emails on that. Arcade1Up will never be on top of the scalpers. They will buy them all up. Yeah, pretty much. I've been in the big Macy's. It has a built-in McDonald's, and it's 3 floors. Nice. So, yeah, if you haven't been there since the Toys R Us reopenings, go back, because I haven't been there personally, but I've seen pictures. They have a big Toys R Us section in there. And I think that's going to do it. I think it's time to sign off. It's about 9 o'clock right now in a minute. So I appreciate each and every one of you who came in, whether it was for a minute, if you've been here for the whole hour, whatever the case may be. I appreciate everybody. Thank you guys. Make sure you guys drop a like if you haven't already. That helps me out a lot. Oh man, I can't even talk. Drop a like because it helps me out a lot. Say that 3 times fast. But again, like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you guys have the notifications on, because when I get my Marvel vs. Capcom 2 cabinet, I will be going live. I will be playing against you guys, and I will be streaming the entire night. And that is pretty much it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this stream. If you did, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Share the stream with your friends after the fact, whatever. I don't know. It's getting late. I'm getting tired. So I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here, guys. Take care, and I'll see you guys next time.